Well, I want to welcome everybody to part 5, and this will be the final episode of this wire recorder series. In the last episode, I tested these mics here. I asked for your opinion, and many of you commented on your choice for the best microphone. First of all, there was I tested the crystal microphone, which is the one that's in there right now. The crystal element's in there. This is the Behringer. This is the UMIG. This is the ceramic cartridge. And this is the GE mic from an old tape recorder. So the votes are in. And I've got them right here. So the people out there have spoken. They liked the crystal element, which is in this one. And they voted 92.5 votes for this. Wow, 92 on that. The runner-up was the Behringer with 8.5 votes. Now the 1/2 votes was because somebody split their vote. They said the crystal and the Behringer were the best and they're tied, so I split those. Next was the UMIG. We got 2 votes for this. And last but not least, these poor things didn't do very well. The ceramic element got 0 votes.
What?
And the GE got 0 votes.
Huh?
It's kind of hard to believe because I didn't think the GE sounded that bad. But with 92 volts, I'm going to go with the crystal.
Yes.
Now I'm going to finish up the mechanism. Let's take a look at what needs to be done on it, shall we? Now I got the underneath of this mechanism working as well as I can. I got new rubber on the 3 wheels. Those are working pretty good. These things are adjusted, they're lubed. The only problem I got, every once in a while when I try to rewind it, it doesn't go into rewind right away. Sometimes I got to click it back and forth. But once the motor is warmed up, it seems to work more consistent. So I'm not going to do any more with it. I've messed with this so much. I've taken it apart 3 or 4 times. I'm going to leave it as it is. It's working pretty good. Now on these wires here, I had to replace all of them because some of them they were kind of thin. And this has got 120 volts going through 2 of these wires. So I decided to replace all of them at once. So this is good to go.
Nice!
Now this mechanism here, it's got this cam and it goes up and down so it spools the wire evenly. This post here had a little bit of wiggle in it, and I had to solder the one end of it here to keep that from wiggling. I used my big Kahuna soldering iron and I put some solder right on here. Let's take a look at that. This right here is the bottom of the post where I soldered it. And this goes up and down. When it was all the way up the top position and started going down, because that post was wobbling a little bit, it made it like a little clinking sound as it was coming down. So by putting solder on that, it stabilized it so it doesn't make as much noise as it was. So that's good. Let's flip it over and take a look at it. Now you see these 5 screws here. Those had rivets in there. I had to drill those out because I had broken a spring underneath here. In order to put the new spring in there, I had to remove all that. So I went online and tried to find some screws that looked like rivets, you know, smooth on top but still threaded on the bottom. I couldn't find much, and it turned into a quest for me. I finally found some screws that might work. Hopefully they will. Let's take a look at that. Now I found 2 different types here. The first one is this one here. This one's got a flat top on it.
This flat top is special.
And I wanted more of a rivet type.
So that's a no on the flat top?
So let me show you that one. Now here's the rivet type. You can see it's kind of curved. Now the only problem with this is on the bottom they got this square looking thing on the bottom that I can't put a nut right up to it. So it looks like it would fit into like a square hole. Why did it have to have that for? Why couldn't it just be a plain threaded shaft there?
Who knows?
So I want to use this, and I was thinking maybe I can grind that section off. So I'm going to try that first. Think that would work? Who knows? Let's give it a shot.
Not bad.
It's good. It looks good.
Well, that worked pretty good. Took all that excess material off it. It's nice and flat at the shaft. Oh, there they are. Looks pretty good. That was pretty easy. So I just roughed these up with some Scotch-Brite. I'm gonna stick them on here and paint them.
You figure on doing a little painting?
Just rubbing my skin oil off them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna paint those first with a primer. Then I'll probably paint them with a copper color. Okay, let's just see what this looks like. We'll take one out of here. Put one in here. Not bad. Of course it doesn't match this, but it doesn't matter because there's different shades of brown and stuff here, so that'll look okay. In fact, I think I'll paint this copper color too. This is the tone arm holder. Okay, let's take all these out. Put the new ones in, put the nuts on the bottom, and see what it looks like. Well, there they are. 5 of those, plus this. Painted copper. I think it looks good. Now, whether you guys like it or not, I don't know, but I'm digging it.
I dig it, man.
Well, there's the cabinet. You haven't seen that in a while, have you? I'm not going to strip this. I'm just going to give this a lacquer thinner bath and then put some light stain on there and see how it looks and go from there. I will make these portions here darker. Like this grill here is darker. The bottom's darker. This part's darker. And this thing's supposed to be darker too here. So I'll be doing all that. Now the inside's in pretty good condition here. It's just a lot of dirt on it.
You dirty rat.
It's got some scuffs on it, but some stain will take care of that. Now, there's the inside top. That's pretty dirty too, but that should clean up pretty good. I took off a couple of plates here. This is for the radio, and this one was for the 6-position switches. Let's take a look at that. This is the radio dial cover. I don't even know if I showed that on part 1 or not. It's in good condition. I just need to clean it up a little bit. There's the plate for the 6-position switch here. Position 1 is record microphone on wire. Number 2 is record phono on wire. And number 3 is record radio on wire. And then number 4 is play radio. Number 5 is play phonograph records. And number 6 is play wire recordings. Use Silvertone recording wire and phonograph needles for best results. Adjust volume while recording until light flashes intermittently. Recording volume indicator operates on positions 1, 2, 3. Well, there's the grill cloth. It's in pretty good condition, so I'm going to leave that in there. I like that. So, next time you see this, it's going to have a new finish on it, and it's going to look pretty.
Ooh, neato!
Let's take a little break here and take a look at a couple of ads. Now, I got these from a guy from the Antique Radio Forum. His name is Wind Up Service. And here's the ad right here. It says, see the new Sears exclusive Silvertone Wonder Wire Recorder Combination. First showing at Owensboro, Kentucky store. Wire recorder, radio, phonograph. All 3 in 1, $169.50. 1/3 down, balance $10 a month. Thousands marvel at this new magic wonder in radio. Records full hour program on one spool of wire. Its fidelity of tone is unmatched in quality. Wire recorder can be replayed immediately and lasts for years. New recording can be made on same wire anytime. Practical for homes, schools, public speakers, churches, musicians, and many others. Sears offers this post-war thriller now. Wow, they're really selling this, aren't they? You will enjoy seeing and hearing this amazing, unbelievable, new and different wire recorder radio phonograph combination now being shown at your Sears store. It's a new Silvertone super sensitive radio. It's a Silvertone super quality wire recorder and phonograph all in one. It has a world of uses in the home, in the school, in business, in churches, with its 7,500 feet of stainless steel permanent record wire, or changed by simply recording over the old recording. No discs, no needles. Truly a miracle. 3-in-1 recorder, Silvertone, for you now at Sears. See it operate at your Sears store tomorrow. There's the spool of wire there. This says, so simple a child can easily operate it. I don't know about that. If it was my kids, they'd have that wire all tangled up in 5 minutes. So here's another one here. Here it is. Silvertone Wire Recorder Combination, $169.50. Buy on easy terms. And this ad's from the Buffalo News, April 9th, 1947. So there you go. It was quite new and exciting, I guess, when this came out in 1947. If I had the money back then, I would have bought one. How about you guys?
Me too.
Well, there's the chassis completed. I replaced all the capacitors and most of the resistors. Some of the work here is not the greatest. In here, the sloppy soldering, but it's so tight in there and there's so many wires going everywhere that it was hard to do a good job on it. Perhaps I should have just rewired the whole thing completely and redid all the soldering, but I guess I just wasn't into it too much, getting all that to look perfect. I just hope the next person who gets this will do a better job than me. But it's time for me to move on. I'm going to put this in the cabinet. I'm going to put the speaker in the cabinet. I didn't poke a hole in the speaker.
Thank God.
There was some pinholes on it, so I put some liquid tape over here. But I think that's an accomplishment that I didn't stick a finger in there or wreck it.
Oh, you're lucky.
So kudos to old Buzz for that. I redid the connector here.
Not bad.
This goes up on the recorder, plugs into the head. So that one's ready to go. So I'm going to put the mechanism in the cabinet too. And we're very close to the reveal. So after 4 months, you're probably saying, about time, huh? Well, I say the same thing. Let's get this done and finished.
Yeah!
Okay, let's just do a quickie alignment on here. I got the signal generator set at 455. Got to adjust A1, A2, A3, A4. See if we get any boost on it. Small boost. Got a boost there. None there. Okay, I'll go over it again off camera. Let's just see the stations are lined up here. This is supposed to be 1410. Next is 1190 here.
Understand, Mexico right now is under siege. It has been under siege for a while. It's so... He had a great story.
That's 1050.
In the pros, they've had memorable moments, but stars are born. Actively looking at what happened and why Trump won and why Kamala Harris lost.
That's 970.
Diagnosing our current political moment and possibly the outcomes of elections moving forward.
That's a Mexican station. I forget what that is.
8 years ago or so.
I guess 840 or 50.
It will. Excited about our Junior, by the way, on this movie.
I don't know what that is.
Winner of this game advances to take on the winner of the game between Texas Tech and Drake in the West region.
Eyes up, both hands on the wheel, because we all just want to get there safely.
And that's 620. Well, it's time to put the chassis in the cabinet here. After I get that on there, we'll put the mechanism on there, and then we'll be ready for the reveal. About time, huh? Hot damn. Okay, here we go. Without further ado, I give you the 1947 Sears Silvertone Wire Recorder in all its glory.
Beautiful, ain't it?
I'd like to stroke it.
Cabinet looks pretty good, huh? Let's open up the top.
Oh my holy God.
Beautiful. I think it turned out pretty good. This thing gave me fits over the last 4 months. Most of that I didn't even show on the video because it was very frustrating. This thing, it just was driving me crazy. I finally got it working pretty good, and I'm gonna leave well enough alone. Now usually I play a song at the reveal, but we're gonna do something different here. A while back I played a record of a young sailor cutting a record for his parents. Just to refresh your memory, let me show you a short clip of that. Well, here's that record from April 1944. Now the sailor's name was Arthur Irwin Zoller, and he was just a kid, probably right out of high school.
Dear Mother and Dad, I'm making this record from a Jewish UFO center in Waukegan. It's Thursday, April the 20th, and I was able to get a leave, or I should say an 8-hour pass, and a friend of mine and I decided to come here. And I don't think we made a mistake, because we really are having a very nice time. It's a very lovely place, and if you could see it, you'd agree with me, I'm sure. I thought I'd make this record because I know that if I'd have one and I'd be able to tote around a phonograph machine, I'd surely like to be able to listen to your voices every once in a while.
Okay, here's the record. This is dated 10/18, I think that's 46. And looks like it's a radio show called That's Life, made by Broadcast Recorders. Now it's the same Arthur Zoller as that young sailor. You can tell by his voice, he just sounds a little older. So let's put this on there and play it, shall we?
Go down. Well, the next people you're going to meet, JC, are memory experts. People from our audience who have a method all their own for remembering things. See if they can remember what it is.
Yes, I'd like to remember this gentleman's name. What is it?
Arthur Zoller.
Zoller, Z-A-H-L-E-R.
Uh-huh.
And what is this weird memory?
I have 2 or 3 memory systems. It depends what you want to remember, and then I'll tell you which memory system I use.
I don't want to remember. You're the one that wants to remember.
Well, I'm trying trying to remember what you wanted me to. Did you want me to remember my system or a list or anything like that?
No, we just want people who have very unusual ways of memorizing things. Like some people, now, for instance, when I study a script or something, I memorize it just as like a photographic mind. Other people run by line, something. How do you memorize?
Well, for instance, if I have to remember to mail a package the next morning or the next day, I make a picture of the package on the breakfast table, and I say to myself, I make it very fantastic, and I say, well, as I approach the breakfast table, I tip the marmalade over on the package, and I drop salt on it, and the cream was spilt, and the package became unloosened, and it got fried in the frying pan. Well, the minute I come to the breakfast table the next morning and I see the marmalade, the salt, or the frying pan, or the cream, I remember that I'm supposed to mail the package.
I don't know. In my house, they wouldn't let you come to the breakfast table. And what other device do you have for something else? Suppose you're going to do something else now. Well, suppose you got a date with a girl or something like that. How do you remember that?
I don't forget that.
Oh, I see. Well, something that you might forget. Give me one more of your
Well, let me
memories.
see. Now, for instance, if I have a telephone number to remember, Gladstone 8683.
Is that a good number?
Yes, that's a good number. I remember that one. Gladstone was a British statesman and also a bag. You call it Gladstone bag. So I say to myself, all right, I was walking on 86th Street with a Gladstone bag, and by the time I got to 83rd, I was so tired that I had to drop the bag. I couldn't go any further. I was just exhausted. So I remember Gladstone, 86, and 83. And that's how I remember a telephone number. And for a list of things, for instance...
You remember the bag? I mean, it's all right.
For a list of any type, I make an unusual incident out of it.
Yeah.
For instance, well, give me a list. All right, I'll give myself one. A Webster's Dictionary.
This fellow's his own MC.
All right, say you wanted me to go downtown and buy you a Webster Dictionary, ladies' hosiery, and dog food.
Yeah.
All right, then say you remind yourself of it this way. Jack is a little dog that you have at home, and Jack was very hungry. The cupboard was bare, there was no dog food. Poor Jack. So you take and say, well, he didn't have dog food, so he went into the drawer and he ate up my mother's hosiery, or any hose.
Yeah.
And then you got very angry with him, and you took a Webster's Dictionary and you threw it at Jack. Well, the minute you remember the next day, or downtown, that you have a dog, you remember he has you wanted dog food, he ate the hosiery, and you threw a Webster's Dictionary.
Yeah, I think I see what you mean. Well, thank you. You know, I forgot what I asked him. How do you do? Your name is?
Edna Erickson.
Edna Erickson. And you have a very quick memory course?
Telephone numbers.
Telephone numbers. How do you remember them?
Well, if it's like Crestview, 65097. I say Crestview, half a dozen, half of 100, and 3 less than 100. Or if it's Parkway, 1460, I say Parkway, 2 more than a dozen and 5 dozen.
Well, how would you fool around with Hillcrest 9999?
Well, I suppose I'd add them all up.
You would? I'll remember not to ask you anymore. Thank you very much, Miss Bird. Thank you. And this lady is?
Alice Keith.
Alice Keith.
Yes.
And what is this quick memory idea of yours?
Well, under ordinary circumstances, I have a photographic thing. But for the obligations, the things I don't like so much, I call my girlfriend. I've known her since I was a little girl. And then in turn, she calls me. And then we get to talking, and we get so confused that usually in the end we don't know what we do want or how to remember it. So then she has to call me back, and I call her back. And by the end of the day, we usually meet each other and accomplish what we went after.
And the telephone company pays big dividends, too.
Yes, it does.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Keith. Thank you so much.
Now I'm going to do another segment here. I'm going to play some wire recordings, and I'm going to call this Voices from the Past. This is just snippets of hours and hours of recordings that I had bought, and I'm going to splice them all together, and we're just going to listen to them. I hope you find it interesting.
In Washington, D.C., the National Broadcasting Company brings you the President of the United States, the Honorable Harry S. Truman, delivering to the Congress his message on the State of the Union. Our NBC microphones are set up in the chamber of the House of Representatives, where the Senate and the House of Representatives are now assembled in joint session to hear the President.
Members of Congress, I have the distinguished honor of presenting to you the President of the United States. We are here today to consider the state of the Union. Food costs too much. Housing has reached fantastic price levels. Schools and hospitals are in financial distress. Inflation threatens to bring on disagreement and strife between labor and management. Worst of all, inflation holds the threat of another depression. I recommend the lifting of the minimum wage to 75 cents an hour. This is the hour to rededicate ourselves to the faith in God that gives us confidence as we face the challenge of the years ahead.
This recording was taken on August 29th, 1961, which was on a Tuesday at 11:45 in the morning. The next voice you hear will be at night.
Sherry, come on, honey. What? What's her favorite song? I don't know. Remember, you always sang it with me. What? Que sera? Well, okay. When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what shall I be? Shall I be pretty? Shall I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. There, that's a nice one. I have one thing to say. Too bad Lindy's in bed. Sign him up. Any day now, the contract's coming through. Any day. Sign him up.
The next voice you hear will be of that Irish impresario, Miss Georgette Petrie Zielinski, formerly of Petrie of 27 Pawnee Parkway, Davidson, 768 Harlem Road, 24 Gatchel, and the city dumps. She will sing, as you all know, that great Irish song with cabbage and whatever else you have with Ireland, Peg of My Heart. Here you are, Miss Georgette Petrie, 35 years old, September 19th, 1961. Miss Georgette Petrie.
What you speaking? I sing Irish songs. Now I sing a Polak songs. What's the matter? You know speak a Polski, I'm not gonna sing a nothings. Here, turning the mic to the church. How did that joke go? We had that corny one. Ask me if I'm a truck driver.
No, ask me if I'm a truck.
Okay, ask me if I'm a truck.
Are you a truck?
No.
That was very funny.
I can do better than that.
Well, let's hear it.
Every time. Oh, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Go ahead. I was thinking.
We have no time to think. We say something.
It costs money, you know?
We only got a few minutes. The tape is running low, so we better keep talking. Think fast and think of something. I don't know what to think about. Balance is golden, but you gotta break it occasionally, especially when you got a wire hooked up.
Let's all sing Happy Birthday to Linda.
And ladies and gentlemen, we will have right from WBEN TV, the Outhouse Trio, with the four flushers, Sophie, Georgia, Danny, Sharon, and George. Here they go. Happy birthday to Linda.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Linda. Happy birthday to you. Bum, 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 bum.
May the dear Lord bless you. May the dear Lord bless you. May the dear Lord, may the dear Lord
help us out. Don't stop singing.
Dear Lord bless you. And this is without any beers.
Yeah, I know it. You can tell that. That's not hard to tell. Happy seventh? That's it. 7th birthday, Linda.
We just made a recording at 768 Harlem Road for Linda Petrie's 7th birthday. The time now is 15 minutes past the hour of 12 a.m. With us, we have Mr. George Petrie, Miss Sophie Petrie, Rita Petrie, Daniel Petrie, Georgia Petrie, Sharon Petrie, Georgette Petrie Zelensky.
Zelensky, get in there.
No comments from the outside gallery.
Well, happy birthday, Linda, and may you live to enjoy many, many more. Happy birthday, Linda. Happy birthday from somebody who can't sing. Happy birthday to you. I can't sing, but I'll sing for you. Happy birthday, Linda. Happy birthday, dear Linda. Happy birthday to you.
Well, now take us away from Dad's singing, which I hate to do. I'd like to just mention, I've listened to a couple of these Shelley Berman records, and I'd like to mention one of the many things he said on his one about embarrassing moments. Let's take the time when you're driving along in your car, and you're coming to a red light, you're holding a cigarette in your hand, and it suddenly falls out of your hand, and it's down on the floor between your legs somewhere, and you're reaching around for that cigarette, and a nice big bus pulls up to you, and you look up and you see all these people looking down at you in your car. And you know, they'll just never believe you're looking for a cigarette.
Linda will be speaking in just a moment. She's trying to think of what to say.
Thanks, everybody. This is a nice surprise. I'm going to say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Talk into that.
For all. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet wind of liberty, all thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrims flight, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
In parting, may we sing happy birthday to Linda's 7th birthday. All right, everybody. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Linda. Happy birthday to you. The dear Lord bless you. May the dear Lord bless you. May the dear Lord, may the dear Lord, may the dear Lord bless you. School days, dear old golden rule days. Reading and writing and arithmetic, taught to the tune of a hickory stick. You are my queen of calico. I was your bashful barefoot beau, and you wrote on my slate, I love you so. When we were a couple of kids, bum bum. I want a girl just like a girl that married dear old dad. She was a girl and the only pearl that Daddy ever had. A good old-fashioned girl with eyes all through. You know just like a girl that married dear old man. When you wore a tulip, a bright yellow tulip, and I wore a big red rose. Heaven was heaven, don't let me go. You made my cherry when you called me dearie.
was down where the bluegrass grows. Your lips were sweeter than tulips when you wore tulips, and I wore a big red rose.
By the light of the silvery moon,
Of the silvery moon,
I want to croon.
I want to croon.
To my honey I'll croon. Love to honeymoon, honeymoon, honeymoon. Keep us out in June. Your silvery dreams will bring all dreams will become true. By the silvery moon, going home, going home. I'm a going home. Quiet like some still day. I'm just going home. Mother's there expecting me. Father's waiting too. Lots of folk gathered there, the friends I knew. All the friends I knew. Going home, going home. I'm just going home.
Well, that should do it for the old Silvertone. It's finally done, and boy, am I happy. Put a lot of hours on this thing, and I'm glad it's finished. I'm looking forward to a new project next month, so I hope you all join me then. This is Old Buzz signing off. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Sweet Buzz 1151.
Good night, honey.